Palestine. We are joining here this pro-Palestinian rally. We have a nice group of religious Jewish people from New York, the voice of Jewish people in opposition to the ongoing occupation of Palestine, and especially to what is going on just in the recent days by Al-Aqsa Mosque on the Temple Mount, where the extremist Zionist people are going to provocate, to instigate, to cause conflict and to cause bloodshed. Unfortunately, we're witnessing so much tragedies, so much sadness going on already for decades. We don't need this to get to a more serious level. And we have to be very clear, we're not only protesting what is going on today, we are protesting the entire occupation from day one. All of this needs to stop. All of this is anti-God, all of this is anti-religious, all of this is anti-Jewish. All of this is a tragedy for humanity and dangerous for all people involved. We need to realize if we are concerned for the well-being of human beings, we need to realize what is the root cause of all what is going on, which is the occupation of Palestine, which needs to stop in its entirety.
Thank you, Rabbi. The hurt of the Jewish community and of our brothers and sisters in Al-Quds, in occupied Palestine, in Jerusalem, and around the world about the occupation in its entirety, first of all, because it's a continual, just one sorrowful link after another, this long chain of pain and suffering of both the Palestinian people and the Jewish people, because there is this Zionist state of Israel is actually a confederate movement. It's a movement of people masquerading in our religion using the Star of David in the name Judaism, they call it a Jewish state, to be able to legitimize a political movement of an ideology called Zionism, which is colonization, taking the land from other people, a selfish, flawed colonization of a group of people, not acceptable according to my religion, which is Judaism. Judaism is to be subservient to God. It is to be grateful for our neighbors and people who have been living, who have embraced us for hundreds and hundreds of years around the world. Besides that, we're not allowed to kill or steal, but simply to show our appreciation for the Muslim people that were done for us in these Palestine and throughout the Muslim world. So there's a double crime there, and stealing and killing, as I say, is basically a crime. Yet the Jewish religion is being used as a tool to legitimize this occupation, claiming that God gave them the land. Now, we know our Judaism. Judaism told us clearly that we're not to kill or steal. Judaism tells us that 2,000 years ago we were sent into exile and were forbidden to reestablish a Jewish sovereignty until the Almighty, with His compassion and will reveal His glory, all humanity will serve Him in harmony. And that won't be a state of Israel. It won't be that at all. So the whole ideology, the whole issue is a group of criminals using our religion. I carry around with me documents. First of all, the picture of maybe the first the Declaration of Independence of the Zionist state of Israel, and you can see that one of them is covering their head. You know, these are the leaders of the Zionist state in 1948. So you can see the farce of what it is. While the Jews in hundreds of thousands live in the Holy Land and demonstrate against the occupation. They get brutally beaten day and night. We have people, they get and no compunctions. They have no shame of what they're doing to the Jewish community. Boys, girls, they spray them with chemicals and brutally beat little children. They arrest every single Jew who refused to serve in the army there. Here you see Jewish girls, 17, every boy and girl who turns 17 is considered a criminal because we refuse to support and serve in their IDF. And this is an ongoing tragedy. And I always like to state that in 1948, right before they created the state, the chief rabbi of Palestine, nothing to be confused with the Israeli rabbinate. Like I said, that's just a farce. They're using our religion. But the chief rabbi of Palestine, and his name was Rabbi Dyshinsky of blessed memory, he went, and this is the picture of him meeting the delegation of the United Nations, and it's a United Nations statement that I'm going to quote. He said, "We furthermore wish to express our definite opposition to a Jewish state in any part of Palestine." In other words, we don't want a Jewish state. This was the very religious man representing the Jewish community. He said, "We don't want a Jewish state. It's nothing with our religion." Unfortunately, he was ignored. It's in the United Nations documents. They were ignored. Our whole Jewish communities were ignored. And the Zionists, with their political connections, were taken as the so-called representatives of Judaism, and they traipse around the world with their chief rabbis, occupy the Palestinians. Now they made a march to go up to the Al-Aqsa mosque, and that's what would happen now. And of course, there's this agitation there, and daily Palestinians get killed, and people. Of course, it hurts us. Of course, everybody who gets killed over there, but the root cause is this occupation. The root cause is the constant suppression of the Palestinian people and of the Jewish people who refuse to accept this illegitimate, this criminal occupation. That's what we're here for, to let the world always remember that what they're supporting as the State of Israel is not supporting Jewish religion. They should know they're supporting a really criminal entity, and we cry with them, my brothers and sisters in Palestine, the Jewish people, and we pray every day that the Almighty, with His compassion, should bring an end to this occupation peacefully. But we also plead with our political leaders around the world not to be intimidated by the Zionist movement, to hear the voice of the Jewish people, the true Jewish people that are still living in Palestine and around the world, and respect our religion and free Palestine from the occupation.
College, a lot of Jewish students there.
Where is that?
Baruch College.
Okay.
That's a college in New York City, and there's a lot of like self-proclaimed Israelis that do that, for example, right? They would tell you that they're indigenous.
Excuse me,
They would take Jews in Baruch College and tell you that they're indigenous to Judea and that Jews are indigenous to that land. So what would your response be to that as a rabbi?
where the Jews are indigenous to the land?
To Judea specifically, to the kingdom of Israel, to Judea. That's your historical reference.
Jewish people lived in the Holy Land. Yes. But, and I can add some more, what the Zionists are claiming all the time. There is a famous promise that God promised the Holy Land to the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is a true concept. But just a minute, if you refer to Judaism, you have to take it in its entirety. There is a second side of the coin as well. One side of the coin is, which everybody speaks about, which the Zionist movement uses for propaganda purposes, which is the promised land, which is a true concept. But let's not ignore the other side of the coin is that the land was promised to the Jewish people on condition. If they remain in the land on the level of holiness God requires of them, they would remain in the land. Otherwise, they would be expelled. There's so many verses. I'll just cite you one. And the land should not reject you because you defiled. So many other verses in the books of the prophets. Jews were, the promise was fulfilled. Jews were brought in to the Holy Land by God, by miracles. We believe this was by God. But Jews were expelled from the land. And basics of Jewish belief teaches that the Jewish exile was a direct divine decree. Not because of any accident that happened, not because of the lacking of physical power of the Jewish people. This is the basics of Jewish belief that was accepted by all Jews throughout all generations for the past 2,000 years until Theodor Herzl, an outspoken heretic, came up with an anti-Jewish concept. Now, having people, with all due respect, being to a certain extent ignorant of basics of Judaism, doesn't make the claim right. Now, if you want to do any other claim not related to Judaism, then it's a different story. If you want to relate this to Judaism, then we have to take the religion in its entirety.
So there's two schools of thought when it comes to Judaism, from what I know, because I've spoken to professors and self-proclaimed Jews. Some people claim that they're Jewish ethnicity, and some people claim that they're Jewish because of race. So, I mean, because of religion, I'm sorry. So people that claim that they're Jewish due to ethnicity will tell you, okay, but I don't care about Judaism as religion, but me and my ancestors are from that land. My great, multiply it by 10 grandfathers from that land, so I should have a right to live on that land. So could you speak to that ideology quickly? Because those people don't care about the Torah, they don't care about Judaism, supposedly.
First of all, I have to say, with all due respect, I'm Jewish, I'm religious Jewish, I am upholding the religion that my grandparents, our grandparents, including all those Jews you're referring to, all of our grandparents believed in Judaism. And according to that religion that the parents of us all believed in, says that Judaism is only one, and that is the one attached to the religion. All what Judaism stands for, the definition of Judaism, the definition of the Jewish people are the people of the religion. This is what Judaism was for thousands of years. Now, if some people today look at it differently, that's a new approach. It's a new way of looking on it, and I can only say that this is not Judaism, this is not the Jewish people. But regardless, let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. If people do claim that they are Jews and let's call it technically, they have a right to the land. If we want to speak technical, not religious, is first of all, don't use religion. If you want to do a secular argument, don't you use religion into a secular argument. If you want to do it purely secular,
you can't pick and choose
exactly.
What parts of the Torah you want and which parts of the Torah you don't want. What parts of the religion you want, what parts of the religion you don't want.
That's it. But if you want to leave religion totally aside, let's step into the United Nations. Let's take it from an international law perspective. You can, coming back to your point, you cannot jump, and use different arguments all the time.
So, Rabbi, one last question. The people say that the Arab community and the Iranians and all the Muslim world kicked out the Jews from their homelands: Egypt, Morocco, Algeria, Afghanistan, Iran, Turkey. The list goes on. So, my question: were Jews treated good during the time of when the Arabs ruled them, during the Islamic rule?
This is so clear. Whoever just scratches the surface and goes back a little bit to history, Jewish people did live in perfect peace in all Muslim lands, including Palestine. I'm not saying that there wasn't isolated incidents where some things happened. Some things happen in the United States as well. In the great democratic country, things happen all over. I'm not condoning anything that happened against any people in any part of the world. But this massive immigration into Israel, into Palestine from all those Muslim lands, this terrible incidents that happened which triggered and which caused this massive immigration was directly caused by the terrorist actions of the Zionists.
Really?
There are so many books written on this. There's so much information, so much documentation on this. I'll just tell you a couple of examples. The case of Iraq, from Baghdad, synagogues were bombed. Jewish people were killed, supposedly, by the local Arabs. There's a book written, Ben Gurion Scandals, by Naim Giladi, who he was personally a part of the Zionist gang, placing bombs in Jewish synagogues in order to make Jewish people believe. Exactly.
Because then you'll have a demand for a Jewish state.
Exactly.
Look, wherever the Jews go, they're attacked. Wherever the Jews go,
Same happened in Yemen. There's so much that there's stories that are written,
Wow.
that are available. I'll be more than happy to share with you.
This is mind-blowing, Rabbi.
It is.